Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. कृपया हमारे साथ गुरु वंदना दोहराइए। हमारे आध्यात्मिक गुरुदेव के चरण कमल ही एकमात्र साधन है जिनके द्वारा हम शुद्ध भक्ति में प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। मैं उनके श्री चरण कमलों में भक्ति एवं श्रद्धा पूर्वक नतमस्तक होता हूँ। उनकी कृपा से भी भौतिक क्लेशों के महासागर को पार कर सकता है तथा कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त कर सकता है। मेरी एकमात्र इच्छा है कि जन्म जन्मांतर वे मेरे प्रभु हैं। वे प्रेमा भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं और अविद्या का नाश करते हैं। वैदिक शास्त्र उनके चरित्र का गान करते हैं। हे गुरुदेव करुणा सिंधु तथा पतित आत्माओं के मित्र, आप सबके गुरु एवं सभी लोगों के जीवन में हे गुरुदेव मुझ पर दया कीजिए तथा मुझे अपने श्री चरणों की छाया प्रदान कीजिए। आपका यश तीनों लोकों में फैला हो। कृष्ण कृपा मूर्ति अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद।
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yada Bhuto Bhavanam Pravishto Mantraya Krishna Kila Purva Jena Atta Aha Tan Mantra Trisham Puriyan Yan Mantrino Vaidurikam Vadanti Yudo Bhuto Bhavanam Pravishto Mantraya Krishna Kila Purvajena Atahatan Mantra Trishambariyan Yan Mantrino Vaidurikam Vadanti Yudo Bhavanam Pravishno Mantraya Krishna Kila Purvajena Adahatan Mantra Trishambariyan Yan Mantrino Vaidurikam Vadanti Yudo Bhuto Bhavanam Pravishto Mantraya Krishna Kila Purvajena Atahatan Mantra Trishambariyan Yan Mantrino Vaidurikam Vadanti consultation. Krishna asked by Kila, of course, Purvajena, by the elder brother, Atta, thus, Aha, said, Tat, that, mantra, advice, Drisha, just suitable, Puriya, excellent, Yat, that which, Mantrina, the ministers of state, or expert politicians, Vaidurikam, instructions by Vidura, Vadanti, do they say. Translation. When Vidura was invited by his elder brother, Dhritarashtra, for consultation, he entered the house and gave instructions which were exactly to the point. His advice is well known, and instructions by Vidura are approved by expert ministers of state.
So, Vidura was a great devotee, great politician also. Not that the devotees should not take parts in politics. They knew everything, but they did not take part. Just like Vidura and his elder brother, Dhritarashtra. He was politician, Dhritarashtra. His whole life was diplomacy and politics. But still, a typical position needs to consult with him. Why a politician should consult a devotee? No. If I want to do something, I must take advice, the best advice from the best man. That is the thing. So Vidura was so expert advisor, counselor, that there was a statement, we will come. There shall be a Chanakya slope or ordinary thing. Chanakya slope is evidence. Chanakya Pandit said, he will introduce Chanakya slope about his students. Chanakya Pandit said that Vita Tamja Nipatanja Nayate Nankala. A man who is large, a man who is very rich. So, how they should be compared? The Chanakya Pandit says, there is no comparison. Comparison must be there when there is points of similarity. It's like we say, your face is just like moon. So if the face is actually similar to the moon, then we can say points of similarity. Analogy means there must be points of similarity. The largest number of similarity makes the analogy perfect. This is logical rules. So Chanakya Pandit says the two, a rich man I'm a layman. There's no company. There are different categories. Why? Sadeshi Pujyate Raja Vidyan Sarvatra Pujyate. The rich man, the king, he is very respectable in his own country, amongst his own land. But the Vidya, the learned scholar, he is respected all over the world. Tirumala unknown. So, if one is respected all over the world, and if one is respected in his own village, so how can there be any company? They are the Chauraka Pandits. They start very many. Another Mātriva Paradareshu, Paradampurshu, Nosha, Atvat Sarvabhuteshu, Yapashati Chapamita. He's a learned scholar. Now, somebody will say, one was passed the PhD degrees in university. He is not a scholar. Kardama Muni says, no, that is not the criteria. Simply to hold degree of university examination. That is not the test of his becoming an artist scholar. That is not. That, what is the test of becoming an artist scholar? Three things. Māsivat Parada, you accept one's married wife. If one sees all other women like mother, he is judged. Māsivat Parada, Paradampurshu Yosnava, and others' property just like garbage in the street. And afterwards, Sarvabhuteshu, Yapashati Chapamita. If one has acquired by education, that must be some asset. So these are the tests how one has advanced in education. He must pay all women except his mother, except his wife, his mother. In India, still, women, especially in ashramas, any woman, visitor, he sees addressed as mother. By all this, she may be young girl, but she is addressed as mother. This is the etiquette. Mother, this is very related. The brahmachari goes to householders, like bringing alms. The sister cannot be introduced here. Otherwise, the another business of this street, right? You go to your class house. Yes, house. In India, they have got sufficient stock of rice, flour, dal. They keep at least 1 month provision. Then it will work. As soon as he gets his money, he purchases the whole month provision. Rice, flour, and things. So, when a brahmachari goes there, the little rabbit or little dog, they continue. With this way, by collection of these alms from the neighboring householders, practically the ashrams, eating problem is solved. Brahmachari is supposed to lead to gurukula, at the place of guru. Just like a median servant. In Krishna, he also leads as a median servant. This teacher asked him to bring some fuel from the jungle. And he went to Sudama Vidura. And while collecting this dry wood, there was a storm and there was heavy rain, and they became lost in the jungle. Krishna and Sudama. Then his teacher, Kardama Muni, with our assistance, they were rescued. So, this is the position of the brahmacharis, that they go to collect alms outside or Guru. So Vidura, Krishna consciousness includes varieties of activities. In a place, representative, they ask me whether your students will take part in politics in science. Why not? Our Bhagavad Gita is produced in battlefield. Battle. So why should I derive battle? No. When there is need for fighting, there must be fighting. This world is like that. Otherwise there is no need of fighting. But there is a class of man who will fight. Still, when there is fight, those who are meant for military purposes, they fight. Not the civilian who are fight. No. Similarly, in the society, there must be division. Not that everyone should be called, come on, go fight. Nobody is sinning. That was not the system. First of all, chanting Paramahamsa system. These children, according to strict Vedic principle, by practical psychology, they need to test it. What is the tendency of this form? There can be 4 types of tendencies. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Some child is to become a Brahmana, some child is to become a Kshatriya, some child is to become a Vaishya. The rest, Vidura, they did not. Shudra does not require to train. Shudra means no training. Ordinary water class. Otherwise, other 3, especially 2, namely the Brahmanas and Kshatriya, they require very magnificent training. Because they will administer the whole affairs of the society. So, Brahmanas, they will give advice to the Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas, according to their advice, rulers, citizens. This was the system. Chatur Varna system, Vibhag, by division of quality and form. Brahman must be qualified and at the same time, what has been done? So we are training especially our students to become qualified God. We cannot take up all other departments. Similarly, others may take up the line of training, military, when others may take up. There are training classes, very multiplying part, you can meet your lessons. So there was organized method to train this mercantile man, administrator, and Brahman. Vidura, although he was born of Shudra mother, his mother was Shudra, made servant. Formerly, when the prince was married, along with the princess, a few dozens of maid servants would go with him. So, to become king, or as it is to be understood, he has to maintain more than one wife. That is king. Even in Mohammedan kingdom, Nawab Wazir Ali Shah, after the war period, they left long to go. So he had 164 wives. Begum. And all of them had children. And when Britishers occupied, the Britishers had to give them pension according to this share. So amongst the Mohammedans also, polygamy was Hindus, especially the high class, Brahman and Kshatriya, polygamy is allowed. Now they have made law. But that is quite natural. If every woman has to marry, then polygamy must be there. Otherwise, how every woman is going to get a husband? Because male population is all shorter than the female. So Vidura was born of a great son. His father was the king. His father was the said Maharaj, Yudhishthira, Dhritarashtra. And the father Vidura the same. His mother Vidura. So, Vidura, because he was not born of the queen, he had no share in the throne. But Dhritarashtra loved him very much. Although stepmother's son, he liked him very much because he was very intelligent. In every occasion, he consulted him. And his consultation was so valuable that later on it became Moidikam. Consultation as expired as given by the Guru. So he was invited, diplomacy, politics, and going on, how to cheat the Pandavas. That was his politics, Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was born blind, although he was jealous of his father, but he was born blind. So he could not occupy the throne. His next brother, younger brother, Pandu, the father of the Pandavas, he occupied. He came. Now, this Pandu died at an early age, and the sons of Pandu, they were minor children. The Dhritarashtra took charge of their maintenance and his other sons. But his policy was that I could not be elevated on the throne because I was blind. But actually the kingdom belongs to me. But anyway, my brother occupied the throne. Now he's taken over. So why his son should be king? My son. This is the politics. So he was trying how to kill the Pandavas from the very beginning. And Vidura was restricted, restraining. So this is the subject matter. Because Vidura, what is doing? Vidura, he restored everything. Vidura said, no, cannot let me do this. That's
Therefore, I shall accept, Samayena, on the conditions, Sadhi, chaste girl, Yavat, until, Teja, seven, from my body, mine, Ataha, thereafter, Karma, duties, Paramahamsa, Mukhya, best of the Paramahamsas, Shukra, spoken by Lord Vishnu, Bahu, much, Manye, I shall consider being free from envy. Translation. Thereafter I shall accept this chaste girl as my wife, on the condition that after she bears semina from my body, I shall accept a life of devotional service accepted by the most perfect human beings. That process was described by Lord Vishnu as free from envy. Purport. Kardama Muni expressed his desire for a very beautiful wife to Emperor Swayambhuva, and he accepted his daughter for marriage. He was in the hermitage practicing complete celibacy as a brahmachari, and although he had the desire to marry, he did not want to be a householder for the whole span of his life, because he was conversant with
the Vedic principles of human life. According to Vedic principles, the first part of life should be utilized in brahmacharya for the development of character and spiritual qualities. In the next part of life, one may accept a wife and beget children, but one should not beget children like cats and dogs. Kardama Muni desired to beget a child who would be a ray of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should beget a child who can perform the duties of Vishnu. Otherwise, there is no need to produce children. There are two kinds of children born by fathers. One is educated in Krishna consciousness, so that he can be delivered from the clutches of Maya in that very life, and the other is a ray of the Supreme Personality of God that teaches the world the ultimate goal of life. As will be described in later chapters, Kardama Muni begot such a child, Topila, the incarnation of the personality of Godhead, who enunciated the philosophy of Satya. Great householders pray to God to send his representative so that there may be an auspicious movement in human society. This is one reason to beget a child. Another reason is that a highly enlightened parent can train a child in Krishna consciousness so that the child will not have to come back again to this miserable world. Parents should see to it that the child born of them does not enter the womb of a mother again. Unless one can train a child for liberation in that life, there is no need to marry or produce children. If human society produces children like cats and dogs for the disturbance of social order, then the world becomes hellish, as it has in this age of Kali. In this age, neither parents nor their children are trained. Both are animalistic and simply eat, sleep, mate, defend, and gratify their senses. This disorder in social life cannot bring peace to human society. Kardama Muni explains beforehand that he would not associate with the girl Devadasi for the whole duration of his life. He would simply associate with her until she had a child. In other words, sex life should be utilized only to produce a nice child, not for any other purpose. Human life is especially meant for complete devotion to the service of the Lord. That is the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya. After fulfilling his responsibility to produce a nice child, one should take sannyasa and engage in the perfectional Paramahamsa stage. Paramahamsa refers to the most highly elevated perfectional stage of life. There are 4 stages within sannyasa life, and Paramahamsa is the highest order. The Srimad Bhagavatam is called Paramahamsa Samhita, a treatise for the highest class of human beings. The Paramahamsa is free from envy. In other stages, even in the householder stage of life, there is competition and envy. But since the activities of the human being in the Paramahamsa stage are completely engaged in Krishna consciousness or devotional service, there is no scope for envy. In the same order as Kardama Muni, about 100 years ago, Thakur Bhaktivedanta also wanted to beget a child who could preach the philosophy and teaching of Lord Chaitanya to the fullest extent. By his prayers to the Lord, he had as his child Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, who at the present moment is preaching the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya throughout the world through his bona fide disciples.
They will not drop from the sky. Everything is equal. In our society, it's the consciousness movement, very scientific movement for the total benefit of human society. If it is properly carried out, then everyone will start to go back.